privilege to withhold audio recordings from an interview he conducted with Special Counsel Robert Hur. This interview is important because Robert Hur was highly critical of Joe Biden's mental fitness and mental acuity, calling him a weak old man with a poor memory. Republicans have argued that they want to examine the audio tapes to see if they accurately line up with the transcript the DOJ provided them, which is a reasonable request in my eyes. But the Biden administration is doing everything they can in order to block this, including failing to fulfill a subpoena that has been put out against them. Now, unfortunately, Biden's team is clearly very worried about releasing the raw audio tapes of Biden giving answers about why he had top secret documents as a senator, why he had them at an office funded by the Chinese at UPenn, why he had them in his office, why he had them in his garage. Now, what's their excuse? They don't want Republicans to deceptively edit the tapes to make Biden look bad before the election. Now, I have a funny feeling that no editing would be needed to make Joe Biden look bad. He can do that all on his own, which is probably why they don't want the tapes to be out there. Now, I don't know why they would assume that Republicans are automatically going to take those tapes and edit them, because somebody could then just point out that they edited them. Remember when the J6 committee tried to do that? They changed people's Twitter profiles, they changed videos, they withheld information. And then what happened? It was proven to the American public that the J6 committee was full of crap and had lied to the American people. Now, despite the setback, Republican Representative James Comer maintains that Meritt Garland, the Attorney General, will be held in contempt. Now, just an hour or so ago, the House committee voted to, in fact, hold Meritt Garland in contempt. This is only the first round of a two-part situation. This means that tomorrow, or likely early next week, the entire House will vote to hold Meritt Garland in contempt or let him get away with it. Now, they're going to need 100% of Republicans to pass this. My guess is, however, just based off of the past, there will be a few Republican holdouts that won't have the courage to do what's necessary. And what will they say? We don't want to set a precedence for going after the president's people, but that never stops the Democrats from doing that to Republicans. By the way, thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out when you do that. So thank you guys so much. Now, former President Donald Trump's campaign did not let Biden's actions go unnoticed. Campaign spokesman Stephen Chung stated, "Crooked Joe Biden and his feeble administration have irretrievably politicized the key constitutional tenet of executive privilege, denying it to their political opponents while aggressively trying to use it to run political cover for crooked Joe Biden." So basically, he's saying, you guys are a bunch of hypocrites and you need to follow the law. Now, from my standpoint, it is almost impossible to believe that the DOJ is not politically compromised, that they aren't going out on witch hunts, that they aren't politically weaponized. Just look at how the Department of Justice is treating pro-life activists, and look at how they're treating Donald Trump and people from his cabinet. Now, speaking of the pro-life activists, people from their mid-20s to mid-70s are being sentenced to multiple years in prison for trying to convince women not to terminate their pregnancies by protesting or educating too close to abortion clinics. While what they were doing is technically illegal, it's not hard to point to more violent acts that weren't prosecuted when they seemed to fit Biden's agenda. Now, Attorney General Merrick Garland was actually asked why abortion criminals aren't prosecuted more often. He said, well, what they do is usually in the dark and they're just hard to get. So it was kind of a lame answer. Now, as pro-life activists sit in prison, we still have anti-Israel protesters overtaking college campuses. So it's interesting to see why they hold one group of people accountable, but not another group. At the University of California, it was previously thought that the school ended the hostile takeover via negotiations. Never negotiate with terrorists, right? However, new students who were not part of the negotiation have just overtaken the UC Berkeley building. A student with a megaphone spoke from the second story of the building stating, "We are occupying the hall because saying free Palestine is not enough. You have to put action behind your words. Going forward, someone needs to teach these college kids that vandalizing property and blocking traffic doesn't do anything except make other people mad at you. So it doesn't actually persuade people over to your cause. It just irritates us. Like if I can't get to work, anything you say, you've now just made me not like you for the rest of my life." So they need to stop that. All right, now, Michael Cohen's, bless his heart, he just couldn't help but lie from the stand and dig himself deeper and deeper and deeper. In Trump's ongoing hush money trial in New York City, Trump's attorney, Todd Blanche, accused his former attorney, Michael Cohen, of lying. After Cohen detailed that he spoke with Donald Trump directly to finalize the deal with Stormy Daniels, Todd Blanche stated, "That was a lie. You did not talk to President Trump on that night." Cohen maintained that he was telling the truth. It was also revealed that Cohen possesses 95 secret phone recordings in his phone, many of which are President Donald Trump. Now, this practice is basically extremely looked down on. Like, if I'm paying you large sums of money to be my legal agent, my legal representative, you can't record me and then use it against me. Like that is just bad, bad, bad. And that's exactly what Michael Cohen's was doing to Donald Trump and many other clients. Now, don't be surprised if he ends up in other lawsuits because it's going to come out who he was recording. And I'm telling you, it's just a really big no-no. I mean, he has basically ruined his credibility with past clients. He's also ruined his credibility with this jury. The whole point was to prove himself a credible witness, and then after that, prove that Donald Trump had done whatever he was going to say Donald Trump had done. But instead, he's just made himself look like a lying idiot. Now, you know it's bad when even CNN legal experts are now saying Michael Cohen may derail this entire case after he became so aggravated during his testimony today. Michael Cohen went on a rant calling the judge in his own case corrupt and essentially saying everyone in law is corrupt except for him. Now, I'm sure Judge Juan Merchan was shaking his head going, "Are you an idiot? You're bad-mouthing me? I'm the guy that stands between you and going back to jail." Now, Cohen's also went on to say that although he lied in court before, he was not lying this time, even though he still says he doesn't believe he's guilty to the crime he confessed to. So, I mean, it's like, how dumb do you have to be? Like, listen, okay, not only have I been a liar, I've betrayed my clients, I've taken their money, broken their trust, gone behind their back, used it as blackmail, and I've even perjured myself and lied in court. But I'm not lying this time, right? Like, you know it's bad when CNN is defending Donald J. Trump. Let me know over in the chat. What do you guys think? Has Michael Cohen's just basically blown up his entire credibility? I mean, this guy, it's mind blowing to me. It's baffling, unbelievable. Howard from West Jordan, Utah. I know where that is. Hello. All right, now, so this was a very big day for Donald Trump. some legal analysts are saying that Michael Cohen has basically blown this deal up. He's derailed any credibility that this case had. Now, to this day, we're on day like 18. Nobody knows what the crime is that they're looking for, which tells me that they're trying to humiliate the former president and they're trying to find a crime while they go after him. I mean, this is like jumping out of an airplane and trying to build yourself a parachute before you hit the bottom. But I have a feeling they're going to hit the bottom and things are not looking good. Stormy Daniels looked really bad as she was inventing details. Michael Cohen looks really bad as he's inventing details. It's just really kind of pathetic to watch. But it brings me a little bit of joy knowing that Alvin Bragg and Letitia James are probably very unhappy tonight. All right, now we are exactly 1 month away from the first presidential debate, which is exciting. However, the fact that Biden has accepted Trump's invitation may show that Biden believes this will go in his favor. In reality, Biden did seemingly get a boost from their last debate. So I think it's important that Trump go into this with a lot of strategy. Now, CNN host Chris Wallace, a previous debate moderator for Trump, threw in his 2 cents today saying, if I were giving Trump advice, I would let Biden talk because sometimes Biden gets himself in trouble. And then I'd counterpunch. Don't make yourself the issue. Try to make Biden the issue. I think Trump thought, I am going to be able to throw Biden off his game. I'm going to be able to get him confused. It didn't work. Biden kept his cool. And the person who ended up looking bad was Donald Trump. Now, they're talking about the debate back in 2020. And I talked about this a little bit yesterday. Trump is going to have to mix up his approach. He cannot come in and pounce on Biden like a hungry lion. It just makes him look bad. So he needs to have strategy. He needs to show up with the data and then just let Biden embarrass himself. Hopefully his Adderall and multiple cups of coffee wear off because he's like a total idiot when he's doing press conferences. But then suddenly on debate night and State of the Union night, it's like this guy's bouncing off the walls. It's really quite interesting. Now, RFK Jr. is still trying to find his way onto the debate stage with these 2 titans. While I initially thought it was impossible, after doing some research, it may be possible for RFK Jr. to join them. CNN has their own debate rules. You have to be on 50 state ballots. You also have to have 15% of the American people's support in a major national poll. Now, Kennedy is only registered in 14 states, so he's got a long ways to go. And RFK Jr. had this to say, I'm happy to report that I will meet the criteria to participate in the CNN debate before the June 20 deadline. I look forward to holding President Biden and Trump accountable for their records in Atlanta on June 27th to give America the debate they deserve. Now, I think RFK Jr. might be overplaying his hand a bit. He still has to get on the ballot in 36 states, which means hundreds of thousands of signatures letting him on the ballot and millions of dollars raised in every single state. So he has to do that difficult task 36 more times in order to get on the debate stage. Now, former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy weighed in on why he thinks Biden suddenly had a change of heart to debate Donald Trump. But I'd like to know from you, why do you think all of a sudden Joe Biden is like, you know what? This is a great time. This is a great time for me to debate Donald Trump. Do you think it's because he's polling so terribly? Do you think it's to try to get positive attention on himself after how many people are angry about the Gaza-Israel situation? Do you think it's because they know he's going to lose and this is their Hail Mary? I would love to hear from you guys on, it's because he's delusional. Yes, yeah, that is absolutely true. Okay, here's what Vivek Ramaswamy had to say. He said that Democrats suddenly let Biden debate Trump. It's a setup. It's their final Hail Mary for Biden. If they fail, they still have enough time to swap Biden out for a new nominee. That's why they agreed to hold this in June, the earliest presidential TV debate in American history. It's obvious. So Vivek is saying, okay, if he loses, this gives them all summer before the Democrat National Convention in Chicago. This also gives them a chance to figure out who it's going to be. Are they going to go forward with Kamala Harris? Are they going to pull in Michelle Obama? Or are they going to ask, maybe they're going to have Gavin Newsom be the vice president to Kamala? That way when he loses, his ego isn't as shattered. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. But I think Vivek, who's a very smart guy, has a point. This does seem to be some kind of setup. Maybe it's a Hail Mary. Maybe literally it's just, hey, if he completely bombs, we need as close to 90 days as possible. Actually, it'd be like 60 days. We need like 60 days to get on here. Finally catching Stephen Gardner live. Oh, awesome. That's so cool. I love to read that. Okay, now as the world continues to criticize Israel for invading the city of Rafah, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has promised it will be over in weeks, not months. The EU has claimed that this disagreement has placed a heavy strain on their relationship with Israel, but I doubt it's as serious as they're making it out to be, because none of them have stopped trading with Israel. In fact, the country of Turkey, who said that they were going to go cold turkey on oil and gas with Israel, they're already back selling to Israel. And look at the United States. You know, they said that they were pausing stuff, but Joe Biden is sending them $1 billion. This whole thing is political. All right, now, one last question. Are you up late like me, or are you just waking up to go to work? I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for stopping by. It's late, so I'm going to get to bed because I've got an entire morning of interviews and research on your behalf. I want to thank you guys for trusting me to be your news source. I love that so much. Up late, up late, up late, up late. It's 2:18. I'm a night owl. Oh, that's awesome. My wife and I are also night owls, and makes it kind of hard to wake up and get our kids off to school, but we do it every day and we love it. And speaking of love, I love you guys, and I want to remind you that you are amazing. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you on the next video.